because it's not only here that we're celebrating, but it's also us educating, teaching folks outside the community. No, this is one of the five articles of faith that they wear. This is important to their religion, it's important to the culture. And so even just that simple education of educating folks here at City Hall, in my opinion, is a huge step forward. And so I just want to say thank you to all the folks in the community who have been doing this work for so long, and for all your leadership again.
Without
further ado, I want to bring up my very dear colleague, Councilmember Rita Joseph, who is going to introduce our amazing host who's going to do the prayer, opening prayer.
Thank you, and welcome. My name is Councilmember Rita Joseph. Welcome to the People's House. I'd like to introduce Gianni Dharam Singh from the Singh Cultural Society to open prayers.
Please for prayer. ਤੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਵਿਰਾਸ ਕਰੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਉਦਿਆ ਕੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ ਜੀਓ ਪਿੰਡ ਸਭ ਤੇਰਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ।
ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਭ ਤੇਰੀ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਕੋਈ ਨਾਮ ਨ ਜਾਣੇ ਮੇਰਾ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। ਬੋਲੋ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। श्री गुरु गोबिंद जी सहाय वार श्री गुरु गोबिंद जी के पातशाही दसवीं प्रथम भगवती सिमर के गुरु नानक लई ध्याए फिर अंगद गुरु ते अमरदास रामदास अपनी सहाय अर्जन हर गोबिंद नाम सुराव श्री हर राय श्री हर कृष्ण ध्याइया जिस डिठा सब दुख जाए तेग बहादुर सिमरे घर नाम नित्य आवताए सब थाई हुए सहाय दसवें पातशाह श्री गुरु गोबिंद सिंह साहिब जी सब थाई हुए सहाय दसों पातशाहियों की जोत श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जी के पाठ दीदार का ध्यान करके खालसा जी साहब बोलो जी वाहिगुरू।
इन माणियां दे मान ताणियां दे तान नेवटियां दी ओट ते आसरियां दे आसरे सच्चे पिता वाहिगुरू जी धन 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 हाजर नाजर सतगुरु श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब सच्चे पातशाह आप जी दे पावन चरण कमलों विखे अरदास बेनती है। गुर संगत कीनी खालसा मन मुखी दुहेला वाह वाह गोबिंद सिंह आपे गुर चेला अते वह प्रगट्यो मर्द अगमड़ा बरियों अकेला वाह वाह गोबिंद सिंह आपे गुर चेला। दशमेश पिता कलगीधर शाही शहनशाह श्री गुरु गोबिंद सिंह महाराज सच्चे पातशाह दियां समुची मानवता समुची मनुखता सिख कौम उपर कीतियां महान बख्शिशां परोपकारां नूं याद करदे होए सतगुरु जी आप जी दी मेहरामत किरपा दा सदका सिटी हाल दे विच पातशाह जीओ विसाखी दा दिहाड़ा अर्थात खालसे दा सिरजना दिवस जिस दिन कलगीधर पातशाह ने बख्शिशां रहमतां करके श्री आनंदपुर साहिब दी धरती श्री केसगढ़ साहिब दी धरती ते खालसे दी सिरजना कीती। इस पावन दिहाड़े मनाते हुए सतगुरु जी आप जी का कोट आसरा लिया है। संगतां ने हाजरियां भरियां हैं। सतगुरु जी समागम की शुरुआत हो रही है। आप जी ने आंग संग सहाई होकर सेवावां लैके निवाजना खालसे नूं चढ़दी कला कौम विच एकता इतफाक देश प्रदेश आंग संग सहाई होना झूलते निशान रहे पंत महाराज के लागते दीवान रहे गुरु महाराज के बख्शिशां रहमतां करके खालसे नूं संसार भर विच दुनिया भर विच चढ़दियां कला खुशियां खेड़े बख्शिश करके गुरु ग्रंथ गुरु पंथ दे नाल जुड़न दी सब नूं समर्था बख्शिश करके निवाजना सब नूं चढ़दियां कला बख्शिश करनियां खालसे विच एकता इतफाक कारोबार किरत विरत विच बरकतां इसे तरह सतगुरु सच्चे पातशाह जीओ राज करेगा खालसा बाकी रहे न कोई ख्वार होए सब मिलेंगे बचे शब्द जो है अपने चरण शब्द सब नूं आसरा बख्शिश करके निवाजना ਸੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨਿਯਮ ਜਨਾਂ ਬੜਿਆ ਤੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਚੇਤੇ ਆਵੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ
ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਸਰਬੱਤ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ
ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਬੋਲੇ ਸੋ ਨਿਹਾਲ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
I have the distinct honor on behalf of our speaker to bring up this next gentleman who has been a very big part of the Sikh community here in New York. So if I could just call up our Singh up to the podium, please. Let's just give him a call. So one thing I will say is, because I feel like you're my uncle, right? I have to say, I say this at a lot of our Asian community events as well, where I would not be here and we would not be able to do the work that we're doing without the sacrifice of the first generation who literally sacrificed everything to be here. And that goes in so many of our immigrant communities, where we recognize and appreciate all the work that the first generation has done before us. And I have to say, Harpreet is one of these leaders who's been doing this work long before we were trying to get people to vote, trying to get folks involved in the community, and he's trying to bring the Sikh language and the culture into Columbia University, which I will read here a little bit about his bio, which doesn't do it justice. But I just wanted to, on behalf of the speaker, she gave him the proclamation before, but we're doing it again. But I just wanted to mention some of the work that you've done because it really is significant. Whereas for more than 3 decades, Mr. Tor has worked with elected officials, government agencies, and law enforcement to help thousands of New Yorkers access the benefits, protections, and opportunities they deserve. Whether advocating at City Hall, organizing within the community, or mentoring young people, he has been a bridge builder, a problem solver, and a trusted voice for those who often go unheard. And whereas in 2019, Mr. Tor was instrumental in securing the passage of New York State's landmark legislation that prohibits discrimination in the workplace based on religious attire and articles of faith. By forging coalitions with leaders across Sikh, Christian, Hindu, Jewish, and Muslim communities, he helped ensure that New Yorkers of all faiths can live, work, and worship without fear of prejudice. And another accomplishment was that he helped secure university-level funding to establish Sikh studies at Columbia University, collaborated with public schools to expand cultural curricula and instill Sikh values of tolerance, learning, and self-respect in countless students. His efforts have shaped a more inclusive, informed, and welcoming city for generations to come. So I just wanted to thank you so much.
This is really humbling think this is because I know Lady Madam will not be Speaker next year based on term limit. But looks like she really definitely wanted to do something before she leaves. I'm just going to share a few things and take just a couple of minutes. A lot of kids who are sitting here, they were not even born. And some of them who were born here, they even don't remember. I think it was 1987 or 86 when Mets, I think 86, Mets won the World Series. And there were ticker tape trade right here on Broadway. And I used to work at 60 Hudson Street. And for me, I was like, I just want to go and watch it. So I came in, and I still remember I was standing on the corner of Murray and Broadway. And there were no gates, everything was open, you could come in and everything. And this, I will still call him a gentleman. You know, a Caucasian guy walks up to me and tells me, go back to your country, you are taking out jobs. And I'm like, I'm here to look at, enjoy the time, what it is, what it meant. So I crossed the street and went to the other side. He followed me back and comes there and tells me again same thing, go back to your country, why you are here. And I'm like, please, just leave me alone, I'm not here to enjoy. So I went back again to the other side. He followed again. And that's when there was a Caucasian, another gentleman probably from Wall Street Journal, because Wall Street, not Wall Street Journal. Not a big difference anyway. So him and one of his colleagues who was African American, they stepped in and they said, why don't you leave him alone? So from there, them getting the permission to run the 6-day parade, which was actually originally from 40th Street, 41st Street, all the way to 17th Street on Broadway. And then the things went on changing. So, but one thing was constant for me, and that was to keep the ID and fight for it. I landed in, when I came to Kennedy, no doubt about it, went to Cleveland, could not get the job because of my turban and accent and everything, even though I still have, New Yorkers do not have any accent anyway. So when you look at that from that perspective and where we are today, and that is because of the efforts, not the efforts of Harpreet, but those who worked with me during thick and thin, who actually believe that we can make the changes, we can bring the changes. And I still remember I was sharing with the speaker earlier, I always called her lady, or Madam Speaker very rarely, that how when she was our councilwoman, I called her, I want to meet her. And she was like, I won't come to you. She came to my office, and Rajendra was there, and she was like, she came in with her chief of staff, she said, what can we do for you? That was when we got Punjab Avenue, Gurdwara Street, and Guru Nanak Way. Because I told her, and if you really go around, you will see in the city, Punjab Avenue is the only longest avenue from 111 to 123rd Street. You get either 1 block or 2 blocks maximum. That goes to her credit. And then, and of course, Sikh Culture Society, how it affected me, how the people within Sikh Culture Society molded my views, including, if I recall, I think it was 1987 when I wrote my first contribution check to Mario Cuomo, the governor. So I learned that in this country, if we have to succeed, we have to get involved. If I want my kids to succeed, then I need to work on it. Even though there are a few kids, I'm going to name only two of them, I bug them all the time. The weather is one of them, Tandeep is another one. You know, and of course, Jaga will go back. You know, Alicia, Jasmine, and of course, Naveen is hiding. You know. And also, when Shekhar got elected, there was another break in the glass ceiling, believe it or not, for us, the South Asians. Because they talk about Asia and they don't know that South Asia has more population than the other Asia they talk about, which is a fact. So, and then came across Linda Lee, you know, even though we competed against each other, but we competed with each other with full respect, and which was really, this is how you learn the things. You know, working with Master Singh Ji over the time period, Harman Singh Dhillon, Devinder always had a confidence in me. I still remember when there was a time when there was something happened, I don't want to discuss that. I was like about to walk away from everything at Secular Society, and Devinder said, no, Pali, you cannot do that. So, going through that, and there is just a little note which I want to share with you, another note. And of course, there is someone, you know, she got COVID, so she could not be here today, which is really, you know, for me it was, oh yeah, I just saw the picture. Actually, David Dinkton was the first mayor to visit Silk Society, and I had the honor of tying a turban on his head. Now you can imagine how back we go with our fight to have the beard and turban allowed. And not only in NYPD, but other New York City services. John Woo was another one, even though he was a controller, he could not do much, but he was one of the gentlemen, elected officials who went to the press conference at 1 Central Street and on the steps of City Hall. You know? And this year is the 37th Secretary Parade. That's, correct me if I'm right, 37th, yeah. So we have 37th Secretary Parade, and after what happened in the 80s, people need to understand that what happened after 80s, Sikh identity was at stake everywhere. Even though we have not succeeded completely, but we have come along a long way. I'm pretty sure nobody remembers 1993 World Trade Center bombing. Anybody?
No.
No. Even I was asking her, and she was like, no. And I know I was walking on West Side Highway, construction was going on, and a construction worker said, oh, we haven't finished completing it yet, and he's already here to take it down. So, you know, when you hear this thing, it actually strengthened my resolve to not to give up. Running for election was one of another mode to bring our face to the communities. And believe it or not, you're looking at the guy, the only person who ran for the city council and was covered either by Wall Street Journal or by New York Times. That's an honor not to Harpreet, but to the community and the people who had a faith in me, and of course the elected officials who trust me blindly that okay, he will give us the right advice. And I think I have taken enough time. There is so much we can talk about, but maybe next time when we have a formal dinner with some elected officials, you know, and of course Sinai's going to be just my now, you know. So, but thank you very much, and I need some young kids to step up, please, for God's sake. This is your time to take over. Thank you very much.
Speaking of next generation and a young person, I want to introduce honoree. I promise I'll get off the stage after this because I know you guys are getting sick of seeing my face. But this next person who I want to introduce, who's an honoree, is someone who I had the honor of meeting when I was working. So we kind of switched places because he was working at Barry Grudench's office, who was the council member before me, and I was on the nonprofit side, working in the community, and we sort of swapped because now he is a very integral staff member at India Home and is doing amazing work there. But he has really done a lot in the community and contributed so much in the community. So I just wanted to bring up, if you could come up, Devinder Singh, to the podium. And I just knew him as someone who I would go to say, hey, can you help me with this funding? We need more AATI money in the community. Can Mary give us more funding? So he was the one in the community. Ooh, sorry. That really helped us out. I'm sorry. Ooh. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry, this happens every once in a while. Sorry. But I just wanted to bring you up and introduce you, and I know your father's here. And just wanted to thank him for allowing you to go into public service. Not allowing, but I know it's your choice. Because I know that when I spoke to my parents about going into social work school and going into nonprofit, they're like, what's social work school? And I think it's great that your father is so supportive and that he is allowing you to do the work that you can in the community. So I just wanted to present you. And I'm just going to read a little bit of this. I'm an embarrassing lawyer up here. Graduate of John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Devinder Paul Singh has dedicated his career to improving lives and expanding opportunity, particularly among immigrant and senior communities. From June 2018 to January 2022, he served the residents of New York City's 23rd Council District in the office of Councilmember Barry Grudench, first as a community liaison and then beginning in January 2020 as the budget director. In these roles, he witnessed firsthand how local government can be a force for good, whether through budget decisions, constituent calls, or community advocacy. And now serving as the Grants Coordinator Director of Housing for India Home, a vital nonprofit organization dedicated to serving South Asian and Indo-Caribbean immigrant seniors across New York City. Through culturally responsive programs, warm meals, joyful gatherings, and robust social services, India Home ensures that its elders are not isolated but celebrated. From yoga classes and health workshops to citizenship assistance and museum trips, India Home creates spaces of dignity, belonging, and cultural pride. And I just want to say that Mr. Singh has been playing a huge part in expanding the social services and really representing the community through India Home. And so I just want to say thank you for all of your contributions and recognize you with this proclamation. Congratulations.
Stomping ground. I don't know what I can say after that speech that I don't read through here, like, sheesh. I did write something though, so.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Thank you, Councilmember Lee, Councilmember Joseph, Councilmember Christian, Speaker Adams, and the City Council for this honor. Who knew a sick kid from Brooklyn would be up here, huh? Jeez. It means a lot to be recognized during this Vaisakhi, a day that celebrates the birth of Khalsa. The values of Sikhi, especially seva, humility, and justice, have guided me throughout my journey from the time in City Council to work at a new home now. Walking around through the changes with a turban is never lost on me. It's a responsibility and it's an honor to do that. I want to thank my father. His strength and sacrifices shaped everything I am today. I'm standing here because of him. To my family, thank you for all your love, patience, and for always keeping me grounded. They definitely keep me grounded very fast. I want to thank Harpreet Kaur, who opened the French door for me into City Council and always pushing me to do more, as you can tell from the speech. I also want to thank Councilmember Granechik, who gave me the opportunity to serve in city government. To my colleagues from council, especially Elaine, who's here today, and Amanda, the true motherheads, I'm deeply grateful for your guidance and belief in me. And to my team at Indian Home, thank you for continuing the mission of dignity and connection for our elders. This recognition belongs to the community, to my mentors, and to the spirit of seva that continues to drive me. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ
Sat Sri Akal, everyone.
ਸਤਿ
Good
ਸ੍ਰੀ
evening.
ਅਕਾਲ ਗੁੱਡ ਈਵਨਿੰਗ
Congratulations to our amazing honorees so far. It is so nice to be here with you all today. I'm Councilmember Shekhar Krishnan, proudly representing Jackson Heights, and Elmhurst, Queens, and Woodside in our City Council, and sending you all best wishes and many blessings for Vaisakhi. Vaisakhi is so meaningful and celebrated here at City Hall in particular, because standing here as the first Indian American ever elected to our New York City Council. I'm standing here on the shoulders of so many of you who have sacrificed so much so that we can be represented here in city government today. But it's always a battle going forward to make sure that our voices are heard. Whether it's making sure that our children in our schools are learning about Vaisakhi, learning about our culture and histories. Whether it's, as Councilmember Lee mentioned before, when we had the first Vaisakhi celebration at City Hall, it was indeed a real battle to make sure we could both have the celebration, everyone could bring their kibbans in too, and I remember talking to Councilmember Lee about it, all the negotiations we had to do. But that's exactly what the growing power and vibrancy of our Sikh community translates into. Is that we are making sure that our community's voices are being heard at every single level of government. And Vaisakhi is personally meaningful for me too, because it also coincides, as always, this time, with another holiday that I celebrate with my children and family, Vishu, which is also in the South Indian tradition, very similar. In the coming, not only of the harvest, but a time of renewal, reflection, resilience, and the work continuing forward that we have to do to make sure that our community's voices and issues are heard. The Sikh community in our city is one of the essential communities, from our small business owners, to our taxi drivers, to the activists here bringing traditions of justice, of liberation, of fighting against oppression. All those principles we bring to the fight here in New York City too. Whether it's from Richmond Hill in Jamaica, to the Sri Guru Ravidas Temple in my district in Woodside, to across New York City. Our Sikh community is such an integral part of the fabric of New York City and pushes the city forward every single day. We reflect on all of those things when we celebrate Vaisakhi. We reflect also how so many of the principles of Sikhism are so important to our city and our country today. Principles like Langar and the importance of opening up our gurdwaras, our communities to serve all of those, regardless of where you came from, religion, country. These are tenets that in this moment, when the forces nationally are trying not only to divide us, but to oppress us in so many ways, call on some of these most powerful principles of Sikhism as universal principles across religions and cultures to push us forward in sometimes one of the most difficult days that we have right now. So Baisakhi for me, in so many ways, both personally and for our city, sends such a message of light and hope that resonates and shines bright far beyond our Sikh community. And on that note, as we honor today so many individuals who have paved the way for the work that we do today, who are doing that work that we do today as the generations coming ahead, and who we all as council members are so proud to work with, I'm so proud to now honor another individual and good friend whose achievements, work speaks for itself, and we all know her across New York City. And that is none other than Tandeep Kaur Sawhney. So Tandeep, Tandeep is a seasoned Punjabi Sikh community organizer and advocate, deeply inspired by her lineage of royalty and justice-based rebellion. Her work in the United States Senate with Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer connects diverse communities with government officials to ensure adequate representation. And whereas Tandeep serves as a Sikh representative with the Interfaith Center of New York Leadership Academy and is the founder of Coach and Assis Foundation, fostering leadership across generations, connecting youth, elders, and immigrants to preserve culture, strengthen community, and empower individuals. And I can go on and on, but I will tell you, it brings me no greater joy and pride in any events that my office does with Minority Leader Schumer's office to walk into the room and see Tandeep there. Not only is she doing such an incredible job organizing the events and being such a great representative of the Senator's office, but this is exactly the kind of representation we are talking about. To see a fellow sister in that position, leading the work for our Southeast and API communities broadly, to know that we can do that work together, carrying on the sacrifices of our parents, of our grandparents, of all those who came before us. There's no greater inspiration for me and for so many of us to see Tandeep there, to do this work together, and know that we'll continue fighting for our communities in every way possible. So, not only on behalf of the New York City Council, but for me personally too, and I know for Councilmember Shulman as well, who couldn't be here, we are all so proud to honor you today. Congratulations.
ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
There are so many thank yous. Thank you so much for Councilmember Shaker Krishan and Lynn Shulman, who I know couldn't be here today. Thank you so much, Councilmember Linda Lee, Adrian Adams, Peter Joseph, and all City Council. Specifically you two, because I walk into every Asian event and you guys are always there. They're having their annual Ascent event, which I attended last year and I thought it was amazing, which recognizes AAPI power. I think you guys should all be there. But of course, thank you to Dur Uncle, thank you to Tillo Uncle, Bopra Uncle, Gyani Ji, Glaka Singh Ji, Master Minder Singh Ji, Wahan Uncle, Pritpal Uncle. It is on your shoulders that you will know that I stand. And of the many, many women who are not here in this room today, which I wish were, but they were the ones that actually raised me. I am a true product of the Gurdwara. I was born and raised in the Gurdwara. That was my home, more than my own home. And I'm most thankful for, I'm a community organizer. I don't usually talk about, working in the Senate when I'm usually in these communities, because I want you guys to know that I'm your daughter more than anybody else's. But community organizing 101 is stay in the back and you let, other leaders come forward, so this is really weird for me. But I learned everything that I learned from my parents, and I don't talk about them often because of that, notion of staying behind. They're always the ones in the back, and they're always pushing the young people to be in the front. And growing up, I think the values of justice and advocacy were instilled in me by my parents. My mom and dad are sitting in the back right now. Every single year, we had very, very little money to our name. And yet every year, my dad, who was doing a corporate job at the time, would take a month and a half off of his corporate job to organize sick camps for kids in the Gurdwara. And then he would go to people's houses, every kid I know my age, go to people's houses and tell them, why is your kid not going to college? Why is your kid not going to school? Why are they not organizing? Why are they not in these spaces? Why aren't you sending your kid to this wonderful program that they got into? Why aren't you sending your daughters out? How are they supposed to grow if they don't go out? Every single thing, the beach, the seed in me of love, of justice, of Sikhi is completely theirs. So this is more of theirs than mine at all. Thank you. For people that might not know, but Vaisakhi and the Sikh lineage is actually that of a warrior lineage. And we are both sons and Sipahis, we are both saints and soldiers. And Vaisakhi is a time where we remember, we commemorate, and we celebrate Tantan Guru Gobind Singh Ji, our 10th Guru, who trusted us enough to make us Khalsa Panth and took away all levels of oppression, whether you were lower caste, whether you were man, whether you were women, you were all equal. And we celebrate the principles of justice, equality, and freedom. And the reason I thank City Council here today is because at a time where diversity, inclusion, justice, and freedom are under threat, we are still standing here being celebrated and being represented by minorities themselves in a minority space. And I think that tells me that we can win and that we have hope going forward. Thank you so much. Happy Vaisakhi. Thank you so much, Becky, for sharing those amazing words. And I just wanted to say, before I introduce the next honoree, not to embarrass some of the folks that are here, but I remember when I started doing a lot of the advocacy work when I joined KCS back in 2009. At the time, there was a coalition called 10% and Growing, and because that represented how much of the percentage of the AAPI community we were at the time. So at that time, we were called 10% and Growing. Now today, I know Felicia Singh is here from CACF. We are in the coalition. I say we because I still feel I'm part of the AAPI community nonprofit side, but it's called 18% and Growing. And it's because we are now 18% of the population of New York City, and we are growing in numbers and in powers. And I just want to point out, I think that it's so important that Tandeep is at Senator Schumer's office, because it's not just the outward-facing positions, but in all levels of government, we need to have representation. And I think that matters, and having that ear and the voice in someone's ear that is able to say, this issue is important to our community, I think is very, very significant to have those sort of voices and influences in our community, which is what Devinder was doing before at Barry's office, and just like so many others here. And I have to say, we have that next generation that's upcoming, and I just gotta give a special shout out to Jesleen. Me, her, as well as our crew, we all ran together. And I have to say, I say ran together, and I say that because whenever you run in any sort of race for elected office, it is a very special bond that very few people will ever understand. And so we are forever bonded because of that, and I have to say that is such an amazing thing. And I just want to give a shout out to Menvir, who also is doing a lot of work in the Metro Plus community, which is huge, in helping out actually a lot of our immigrant communities around that, as well as Jaga, who is doing a lot of, doing a lot of community advocacy work. But I have to say, I see them around in the community a lot, and I just want to give them a shout out because they really are the next generation. I feel like I'm kind of that in-between generation because I'm in my mid-40s. 40s already, but, you know, I do want to recognize that we have such a young, vibrant community that I hope to see continue to grow. So just wanted to put that out there. And I wanted to bring up where's the sing? Yes. If you could come up. So he represents a very, very important organization in the community, Khalsa Aid, in the New York City chapter. And I just have to say, I am so thankful for their organization because every time we have a fire in the district, or there is the baby formula shortage, or food insecurity, or folks that need coats, they, without any hesitation, always give to our community and donates so many things for our community across not just District 23, but in other districts as well. And they've been such an amazing, amazing partner for us. And it just speaks to the belief and just the giving nature of the organization that you run. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. And I wanted to recognize all the incredible work that you were doing. So I just wanted to let's give him a round of applause. So just really quickly about their organization. Khalsa Aid US, a part of a global humanitarian organization, Khalsa Aid International, founded in 1999, was established in 2018 with chapters in New York and 13 other states. Inspired by the SIG principle of Sarvat Dabala, welfare of all, Khalsa Aid provides emergency relief and support to vulnerable populations across the 5 boroughs and beyond. In New York City, one of the world's most diverse cities, Khalsa Aid is driven by the spirit of seva, selfless service. The organization mobilizes volunteers to address urgent needs, including distributing meals, responding to disasters, aiding refugees, and leading social outreach initiatives. This work is guided by the belief that compassion knows no boundaries of race, religion, or geography. So I just wanted to thank you so much, and on behalf of the City Council, we wanted to present you with this proclamation.
Alright, so and congratulations for the whole humanity for Khalsa's life and purpose. 28 years in New York City. Now I feel like I'm here. Okay, my name is Sudev Singh. Khalsa basically is a non-profit organization founded by Mr. Ravi Singh ji in UK and for disaster homes and humanitarian grounds. And right now their missions are all over the world. In New York chapter, basically we provide, we work with homeless shelters, back to school supplies for the kids, winter drives, and quarterly blood drives with the New York City Blood Center. So I joined Khalsa in 2022, and it's a very great experience. So that's it. Thank you very much for this, and this is for the whole volunteers who are working for the Khalsa.
So they'd like congratulations to all our honorees. Such an incredible reflection of our Sikh community across the city. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Now, having recognized our honorees, we are so proud to have a performance by the Akal Garka Academy, who performed last year too and did a phenomenal job. We welcome them back to perform now as well. Akal Garka Academy, everyone.
कवर करके ਸੁਖਦੇਵ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਫੜ ਫੜ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੀਪਰ ਜੀ ਕੱਲ 6 ਤੋਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਯੂਪੀਐਸ ਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਵੈਸੇ ਤੇ ਵਾਟਰ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰੀਜ਼ ਕਾਰਗੋ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੋਰੀਅਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਮਤਲਬ ਯੂਪੀਐਸ ਦੀ ਫਰੈਂਚਾਈਜ਼ ਹੈ ਮਿਲ ਲਓ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਪਿੱਛੇ वीडियो बना रहे हैं चल लो कल जे चलना तो कल शामी जावांगे 6 तो कभी मिलवांगे इंडिया दीपा दे जा भाई